What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Yanks of the Cop. As always, I am joined by my man, my homie. Tough one today, man. Really tough.
It's just a madness again. I don't understand how we dominate the game and then you end up losing 3-1. Don't get it.
Yeah, and before we get into it, guys, if you haven't subscribed or liked our channel yet, please go ahead and do so down below. But yeah, I mean, the first half, I thought we were definitely the more dominant team, and pretty much throughout most of the game, I thought we were the more dominant team. You know, we controlled the ball. We looked likely to be the one to put the ball in the back of the net, but it's just individual errors again that cost us this game.
And I think poor finishing. Because I feel that in that first half, Salah and Mane both had two good chances with a through and goal, and the touch, the confidence is not there. It's awful. And I think, both of them should have gone on to score. Even Bobby's one, I don't know if he was offside, but he has to be scoring. If he's on side, he has to be scoring. That's a poor miss. Because there's no way, as good as they're making out in Sky, but Schmeichel saving that.
Yeah.
Bobby should be burying that. So, I think what it showed to me again is the fact that our front three lack confidence up front in decisive moments. Overall, I thought in the first half, while we were getting possession, I thought our final ball was a bit poor. And I think it was just summed up most of the season, poor decision making in the final third, and then just madness. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get into the lineup to start. Origi looks like he's picked up an injury. Fabinho still injury, and new signing Ben Davies clearly picks up a slight knock and can't feature in this one or even make the bench. So I mean, that pretty much sums up the season for me in a nutshell. I don't know what's going on. I tweeted something during the game that, at first I thought it was coincidence with the physios and, the amount of injuries, but now it's just like, James Milner's going off with an injury. I didn't really see what that was, but Origi's picking up injuries and he's barely playing. Like, what the hell is going on? I had no idea what's going on.
I don't know either. That's why I don't know if it is it really just our training? Is it the fact that, people just, the lack of rotation is affecting them? Is it the condensed season? I don't know what it is, but it's just we are the only team that's picking up this amount of injuries, and I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, did we really just make a deal with the devil last season and the season before, and now we're paying the price for it? I just don't understand. But what did you think about the overall formation and the lineup? I mean, Kabak starting at center back is kind of what you and I had predicted, but Henderson being back there obviously didn't have much other choice other than Phillips. Jones in the midfield, Milner to start. What were your thoughts just when you saw the lineup?
Actually, in hindsight, after the game, halftime, I tweeted how I thought Klopp wasn't taking any risks at the end of the lineup because I thought he could have maybe started Ox for Milner, but then when Ox came on, he didn't do much. He was actually
I'm not going to knock Ox on that one though. I mean, he came into a point of the game where we just absolutely collapsed. I don't put that on him at all. I mean, it's tough for any player to really make a difference in that situation.
Well, he didn't look as a player that should have started, actually, when I now think about it. So maybe on the basis of that, him playing Milner, Gini and Jones was the right midfield. I mean, I don't even know what else options he had. Could he have played Shaq? But I don't think this would have been a game for Shaq to start with him. Or try different formation. I don't know. I don't think the options were that great for him. And also, now seeing Vardy, if he had started Phillips, I think it would have been the same result. So he had to play, obviously, Henderson and Kabak now when you look at it. Because Vardy did get behind us at least twice. And he probably really should have scored when he hit the crossbar instead of that. But overall, I think it probably was the best lineup Klopp could have put out with the injuries we've got. And it's just I think Milner's injury is probably a combination of him playing so many games. Like he's what 34.
Did you see what it was?
I think it could have been like a hamstring or something.
Oh god. So now we're
So
thin. Now we're thin at the midfield spot.
and also I think and also obviously we have to remember as well. People blasting Thiago. Yeah, he wasn't great today, but he didn't train all week. You know, if he hasn't trained all week, you got to just put that in context. The man's not trained all week, so he's going to be he was off the pace. He probably shouldn't have come on as a sub at that time because
I don't think they were planning on playing Thiago very much today. And as a sub, it's tough to get into the proper mindset. I mean, I'm not going to make excuses for Thiago. I don't think he was great today either. I thought Ndidi had a really good game against us, but it's not just down to Thiago. It's the whole team. Robertson was absolutely horrendous today. Sadio Mane, I think, while clearly someone told him in the dressing room, sat him down and said that you need to start going at players. I saw that a little bit in the first half. But other than that, his first touch just looks so heavy. He's so sloppy with the ball. And I don't know what's going on with him this season either. I don't know. Maybe he's carrying a knock as well. I don't know. It's definitely concerning. I thought Bobby had an atrocious first half. Until he had that assist, I thought he was pretty poor. And then, Salah, I thought Salah made some good runs. I thought he was okay. But again, like you said, he should have taken more chances. That one-on-one with Schmeichel, probably should have put it away. That Salah in form definitely puts that away. But, I mean, he got his goal, so maybe he's happy. I don't know.
You can see that when those decisive moments, the lack of confidence in there because they're thinking much more. Like when they're in form, it's like they get the ball in their feet and they take a shot.
Yeah.
But now, when they're one-on-one with those situations, they're thinking about it. They're getting the ball stumbled in caught up in the legs. It's just, you can see that there's a lack of confidence there. And I think it's affecting our front three. Even though Salah scored today, I still feel like obviously that he was at fault for the Harvey Barnes goal, stopping giving the ball away to no one. And the amount of times I saw in that game where we just played poor passes to no one, kept giving the ball away, and it's just like it is concerning the fact that now we've lost today, and with the games we've got coming up, it's concerning the form. It is just woeful form.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Welch in the chat said that Thiago was rash for a free kick goal for Leicester. I'm not blaming him for the whole defeat, just that moment. Did you think that was a proper goal? I mean, I looked at the VAR and there was a zoomed in, and I don't understand how that blue line is placed where it is for Bobby's foot. It just seems like it was way too generous to Leicester. Again, I didn't think that was. I thought it was a lot closer than that.
Well, I thought his arm was normally in the fault, but they have the arm out. They'll say you're offside by your arm. I think I've seen recently in one of the games where the guy, they said his arm off. So, but then they're doing it against the foot to the shoulder or something instead of, even though actually the rest of the arm's in front. So it's like, I don't think that was a goal. I think that we were robbed. That VAR was poor there again. But then again, Thiago's lack of fitness, training, he was shocking to give that free kick, And he'd probably get away from that in Germany. I think in the Bundesliga, he gets away with that kind of tackle. And they might not get given a free kick. But I think he just needs to learn as well, that, he's can't do those kind of challenges. And he also needs to learn that, he's going to have to do a bit, until Fabinho and Henderson back in the field, he's going to have to do more defending like that. He's not used to having to do that kind of defending where he's got to always track back and do that. So he's got to get used to doing that, because that's why he's been caught out and stuff. Because, but yeah, it's not, can't put the defeat on all on him, because it wasn't his fault really. Liverpool should have still defended a bit better for the set piece. But it is what it is. The whole team, no one comes away from this game really with loads of credit in the bank to say, oh yeah, that was a great performance.
Yeah, Julian in the chat said, I'm heartbroken with this shit show. The players should be ashamed of themselves for letting Klopp down. He deserves way better than this. Rebuild needed more than ever. Yeah,
I would say to that, like, we say rebuild. If we get Europa League, how are we going to rebuild?
At this point, I don't even know if we're going to get Europa League. Like, we'd end up in 8th or 9th. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Without having to sell a Salah in the summer to do this rebuild, if we don't get top 4, we're going to have to downgrade in terms of the kind of targets we're after. Because, obviously we lost that with Makano, which I'm not really bothered about. But we're not gonna get any of these. We're gonna have to look at players like 100% like a Kalakatar, Busuma, those kind of lower level players, rather than trying to get like bigger players.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the table right now, Chelsea are playing this weekend. They have 39 points. West Ham have 39 points. Everton have 2 games in hand, and they have 37. Tottenham has a game in hand. They have 36. Aston Villa 2 games in hand. They have 35. I mean,
apparently said that if the results go against us, we can end up 9th. But then there's a weekend, I think.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we can end up 8th or 9th before the weekend's over. It's just, God. Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't get how we can look so good and then control and just blow up.
I mean, Victor in the chat said that the team is mentally drained, and you can't blame the players. You have to ask what the manager is telling them. Liverpool should have won that match. I mean, I don't really put full blame on Klopp here. I think that, I mean, maybe if this is last year, I think in that goal goes in, the offside goal, the first goal from Maddison, I think we come back in and I think we win that game. Or we're already up like 2-3-0. But the fact that goal goes in and then Alisson's howler, once that happened, I thought we were going to lose 4 or 5-1. You know, I'm not surprised that we went down 3-1. But yeah, I mean, there's just no backbone to this team anymore. You know, there's no hope. There's no mentality monsters. I mean, they're dead and buried, at least at the moment. So, I mean, what's it going to take to turn this low level of confidence around?
I don't know, because, you know, even like, I think Alisson made a good save when I think it could have been like 4.
Yeah.
He made a really good save. I don't know what the key is. I don't know. Like, what you would think maybe it's a Jota or a Keita coming back, but they're not going to be back at least March. So, you know, we still got Everton, Leipzig, and Sheffield United before you get to the end of March. I don't know what it is going to be the difference for us in terms of overcoming this, because I think, you know, when Leicester scored their 3rd goal, we just looked shocked. You know, we're all over the place. I think they were saying like how easy it is for Leicester to get behind us, and you know, even for the, you know, it was just crazy. So I've no idea what it is gonna be the catalyst. You know, I even tweeted before. I think like Alisson was shocking today, no doubt about it. He was 100% at fault for the 2nd goal. You know, lack of communication between him and K-back, but you know, he was at fault there.
Why is he coming out that far? She doesn't have to come out that far. I mean,
I think it's a lack of trust. I don't think he trusts the defenders in front of him. Because when you see him all the time coming out, he doesn't trust the defenders in front of him, so he feels like he has to do more. Because, you know, like the amount of times when he has come out and he's cleared the ball for us.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, Alisson comes off the line and clears the ball for us, not most of the time. So he's assuming it's that kind of situation, have to come out and clear the ball. So even though he shouldn't, because it's a bit further out and the defender's got it covered, but I think it's a lack of trust in the defense, and that doesn't help when you don't have a regular back 4 of week in, week out. Because I don't think he's making that. If that's Van Dijk and Gomez in front of him, he ain't coming out for that.
No,
there's going to be communication.
Yep.
And that's the key thing there. There's a lack of communication between him and Hendo and K-back, so he doesn't feel that he can trust them, so he has to come out. So, but yeah, he shouldn't come out, and there's pull from him. And that's back-to-back games. So the thing is, obviously now it's like, well, people say drop Alisson, but you can't really drop Alisson because you can't play Adrian. He's like liability. And as good as Keller have done, do you trust Keller against Leipzig? I don't. So,
I mean, that's a game I'm really worried about right now. Is a game against Leipzig. I mean, I think they're doing pretty well in their league. I think they're only down 4 points from what we said. So
they won yesterday as well.
They won yesterday, exactly. So I mean, they're going to be watching our past few results. They know we're lacking in confidence. You know, I'm just worried that we could just get absolutely buried. You know, they put in 2 goals on us, and all of a sudden, you know, that mentality isn't there to get back into the game. It's just, it could be. I hope it's not. I hope they come to play, but it could be scary, man. It could be
I think
really
we Henderson back in the field for that game.
What's that?
I think we need Henderson back in midfield for that game.
But then who do you play at center back?
Phillips.
You play Kabak and Phillips? I mean,
You have
if
to.
that's the case, then we can't play a high line. You saw it today. I mean, Kabak got caught, I think, twice. I thought Kabak played a good game overall for his debut, but he got caught 2 or 3 times being out of position in the high line. And
That's because Vardy. Vardy's
that definitely led to the third goal. That definitely led to the third goal.
That's because Vardy. Vardy's difficult to defend against.
Exactly. Dude, I said that last game, or I said that last show. I think that's why I would have understood if Klopp went with Phillips over Kabak, just to ease Kabak into things. But against Leipzig, maybe we should just throw the high line out the window. Just defend.
I think so. Maybe I do agree with that. I think we have to probably play a bit deeper because I don't know. Obviously, it was Kabak's first game, but I was told that he was supposed to be fast, but I didn't really see that pace. They said that he was quick. I didn't really see that today. To think like, yeah, he's going to be like a fast player, but maybe that's obviously his first game. But yeah, I do feel for Leipzig we have to probably play a bit deeper because they are good in the counter attack.
Yeah,
and get Henderson back in midfield.
Yeah, and JG said can't have Hendo in center back anymore and shouldn't have been playing a high line the last few games with everything going on back there. I mean, I completely agree with that 100%. My friend Shane Samuel, what's up, Shane? He said that Liverpool are a good team when fully fit. Charge this one to the game. And JG actually said something a little earlier too that going off of Julian's comment about the signings this summer. I mean, getting all these players back from injury will be like rebuilding a new team, to be honest. I mean, it's just the amount of injuries that we've had, Van Dijk, Gomez. I even heard Kelleher might have an injury now. Someone said that. It's just getting out of hand.
But did you like in the first half, like, I think there was a few times where, like, where I think it was the first half or the second half. I think it was the second half, yeah. When Robbo, we had, like, I think the ball's laid off to Robbo. We had, like, Thiago, Salah, Mane all at the back post free, and Robbo shot and leaned and shot over. Do you remember that moment?
I'm sorry, say that again?
I think in the second half where the ball was played back to Robbo and we had Salah, Thiago, and Firmino all three at the back post calling for the ball, and he skied it over. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like,
well, to be honest, yeah, I thought that if Curtis Jones could have been able to squeeze it through to Thiago. Thiago was in a great position. But even then, if that's last season or even 2 months ago, Robertson just whips that across the box. And even Thiago at the end of the play was just like, I'm right here. Just pass it to me. It's a goal. And then there was another play. I think we were down 2-1 at this point, and we had 3 guys in the box, and Robertson whipped in across, and it just went out for a throw-in. And when have you ever seen that from Robertson? He's been so out of form the past 5 or 6 games. I don't understand what's going on with him either. Is he just overworked? Does he need a break?
I don't know. Does Klopp really trust Tsimikas yet?
Well, I think it's tough because I don't know if you play Tsimikas in this game, and I don't play him against City either. And I mean, he ended up going in at the end there, but I don't know. It's does he trust anybody at this moment? I don't know.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I don't think he really trusts certain players on the bench. So that's why he doesn't start them. I don't think he trusts Ox to start games, and I don't think he really trusted like starting Shaq in this game either. So, and because of that, if he doesn't trust the players on his bench, then he's not got many options to like really change the game. But I think overall the biggest decisive moment for me was taking Jones off. I don't understand why Jones came off.
Yeah, he seemed upset about it again.
Yeah, because he's not as if Jones played the full 90 minutes last game, really. So I don't understand why, because Jones came off again in the 90 minutes against City as well. So surely Jones can play 100 minutes. So I didn't understand that, because I thought when Jones went off, we became more defensively open and we lost all shape. And then it caused us to then have to play a bit Thiago like deeper. Mm-hmm. I don't think that was a great substitution. So I think that's quite decisive for me.
Well, when did he make that change? I think he was at 1-1, right?
Yeah, before the second goal, Jones came on. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thought I'm not sure why he made that change, but Julian said, "Would I sound deluded if I say we play Kabak and Robbo center backs and Simicast left back against Leipzig? Because we're going to get absolutely mugged off with Kabak Phillips partnership." What do you think about that one?
I think that's a bit that I can't see Klopp playing that. That's a bit, Robert centre back. I don't know about that. Davy's probably not gonna be fit for that either.
I mean, it's gonna be Henderson and Kabak again. That's what it's gonna be, unfortunately.
Yeah, it will be that.
I mean, I understand what Julian's looking at there. I mean, Robertson is a solid defender. I don't see Klopp taking a risk like that. I don't see him trying to, he didn't play Simicast in this game. He's not going to play Simicast against Leipzig in the Champions League. He's just not going to do it. And I don't think he's going to make that big of a decision of moving a left back to center back when we have somebody who's been playing center back in Henderson the past 5 or 6 games. I just think that would be too much of a chance. So I don't think he'll play Phillips either.
He's on midfield going to be against Leipzig because Milner's probably injured. So you're looking at what?
Same as today. It's going to be Gini, Thiago, and Jones. Yeah, who else is there? To be honest, there's not many choices to go from.
God, that's true.
Yeah, no, it's a good thought. It's a good thought, Julian, definitely. But I mean, Chris Welch brought up a good point. We have Phillips and Jones. What have Phillips and Jones done wrong this season? It's been one of the bright sparks this season, in my opinion. I mean, every game that Phillips has played, he's played really well. It's just surprising that Klopp hasn't really gone with him.
I think Phillips. I think it's the fact that maybe Klopp doesn't 100%.
It's a trust thing again.
Trust him, yeah. I think he thinks obviously like technical wise, obviously while Phillips is good at just no nonsense defending and clearing the ball, I don't think he likes him in terms of like his passing and probably also against pacey players, and that's why he might have thought, well, I don't trust Phillips against Vardy's pace or even Harvey Barnes' quickness, and that's probably what he felt in terms of over Phillips. Otherwise, I think realistically, as well, he's thinking like Phillips isn't my kind of centre back, that he wants to be playing week in, week out for him. So that's probably why. With Jones, I just think maybe that Klopp doesn't feel, maybe he's not feeling like he can last 100 minutes, not 90 minutes, or I don't know why that, because we have seen Jones play full 190 minutes, so I'm not really sure why Klopp's not trusting him. But
he's so good with the ball at his feet. There was a time in the first half where Milner popped up inside the 18-yard box and just couldn't get the ball out of his feet. And if it was Curtis Jones in there, it probably would have been a goal. Do you remember that one? It was like the first 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't understand why Klopp allows so much freedom for Milner when someone like Thiago and Jones, I think Jones gets a little bit more freedom, but why isn't Thiago getting that freedom?
I don't know. I think I said, obviously not trying to make an excuse for Thiago. I think, like I said, I will say again, he was shocking today, just like he was in City. But I feel that he's not playing the same position as he did at Bayern, and he's having to do way more defending than he's expected to, and cover more ground. So I think Klopp's probably playing him as in that position to have more control of the game because of the lack of Fabinho hand in midfield, rather than that. And I didn't understand why it's taken off Gini either today. Like, I thought as soon as Gini went off, we lost all kind of defensive shape. Protectivity went, so I didn't understand that.
It was already 3-1 at that point, right?
Was it? Did he go off? Oh, maybe he went off then. I can't remember.
It was already 3-1 at that point. But so, no, I mean, do you think that, what we're missing in the midfield is Jordan Henderson? I know Gini, I think, is 4th vice captain or 4th in line to be captain, but clearly there's like a lack of leadership in that midfield. Do you think Henderson in there would make a difference?
I think it's not only Henderson. I think what we're badly missing is Fabinho back in midfield, because Fabinho is in the top 2 number 6s in world football, and you miss his breaking up play, covering. He allows obviously the rest of the players to play much higher at the pitch because of him being able to protect and cover the back 4. They miss obviously his progressive passing, so he's a big miss. And obviously Henderson, yeah, Henderson's energy and drive and leadership in midfield is missing. So when you have those two players out of midfield, that's a huge blow to you because as good as the others have been, they don't offer the same kind of qualities as a Hendo and Fabinho do, really. So you do miss that, and obviously when it's not there, you can see there's a massive difference, and it's it's a complete blow for us, and I don't think we're going to get to see them again this season.
So I think you said either last show or for the pre-match that you would like to just see two center backs back there. It doesn't matter who they are.
I would, because I just feel like I want them back in the midfield.
And you want Henderson in the midfield. So against Leipzig, is that what you would? If you were the manager, is that what you would do?
Yes, if I was the manager. Well, of course, if Fabinho's not fit, we can't do that. But I think I'd still. I know Klopp wouldn't do it, but I would play K-Back and Phillips because I don't think it's going to be any worse than playing K-Back and Henderson. I still think Leipzig's counter-attack will expose them to anyhow. So I just think I'd rather put K-Back and Phillips a centre-back because obviously Davis is not fit. And then I'd put Henderson back in midfield and do it that way. Because at least Hendo, Gini, Jones or Thiago would still offer the defence protection. Mm-hmm. And also allow Henderson just to lead us from midfield, give us that leadership experience he's got, to control the game and stuff. So I would do that just to have us have more leadership in midfield because I think we're badly missing that. And today, if we had Henderson in midfield, he could have offered us far more leadership, even to the front three. Because the one thing I liked about Henderson today was, when Thiago gave that free kick, you could see Henderson shouting at him, had to go at him.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him off. So I like that. Like, what are you doing? Like, because it could have been a penalty. Very debatable. So,
and I love that Henderson does that to anybody as well. I mean, Thiago is a world-class footballer, and he's just right in his face about it. Right in his face. It's great to see.
So it is. But I think what you're saying. I just don't think Klopp's going to do that. He's going to put Henderson back at centre back, with the same midfield as we got to more or less the same midfield we got today, and. We just have to hope that I don't know what they've got 3 days that somehow they can the Champions League could be like. Hopefully, I'm hoping the Champions League change the scenery. Can I think we get away from the Premiership, change the scenery because
that's what happened in 2005.
Yeah, I said that, and people would criticize me on the timeline today because I said, well, look, in 2005, Liverpool was shocking in the league. We barely battled for top four. We did well in the Champions League. So obviously we had fans in that time, but maybe the change of scenery could actually help in terms of where the players aren't thinking about the Premiership and they're thinking about the Champions League, and knowing that a team at Leipzig are going to play far more expansive football because that's how Nagelsmann's teams are set up. They're not set up to defend.
In 2005, we had a certain talisman in the center of the park who was, in my opinion, the best player in the world at that point. I know he didn't win the Ballon d'Or that year, but I think he came in second or third. I mean, we don't have anybody close to that level of influence in our team right now. So I don't see it happening, man. I think, not to be pessimistic, but I don't think we're going to get through Leipzig. I mean, I've been saying that we need a spark, and I thought that the City game was going to be a spark. I thought that the games before that were going to be a spark. It hasn't happened, man. I think injuries are finally catching up with us.
Dylan Red's got a point here. Conceded very soon after Jones was replaced by Ox again. Same thing happened against City. Now I know we can't blame it all on one player, but surely there's a coincidence. It's true. Jones coming off. People don't give credit to Jones for his defensive work rate because he's keeping the ball is actually very good, helps him become much more stronger defensively. When he's not in midfield, realistically, and he comes off, we don't keep the ball as well. He can play a bit ball faster in attack, but he actually is very good defensively, Jones.
Yeah, but I mean, that you can't put that blame on Klopp for the second goal. I mean, it was literally just a routine ball that Kabak or Allison should have dealt with. And they didn't. They just ultimately screwed it up to the highest levels. I mean, I don't think if Jones was in there, I don't think anything would have changed in that situation. I really don't. Do you actually think that? I mean,
No, not for that. I think like
in my head, but
I just think over the ball. I think would Jones have been there? I think Jones may have been on that side if instead of Thiago.
And do you think the Kabak would have dealt with that properly?
If Alisson had come out.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know if he would have. He was chasing the ball like this, and he tried to flick it with his right foot to send it back that way, like Virgil did against Brighton. He tried that, and I don't think he.
I didn't get that thing was how come there was no one who made a call to either Alisson or K-back to say Alisson's stay in the line? There was no communication from anyone.
I didn't hear anything, but I'm wondering if maybe it was a late call. I don't.
Because even like surely one of the other players could have seen that and been like shouted to, like Alisson, stay in your line. K-Watt's got this or something like that. But there was no communication from anyone, so that just was kind of like really really poor to me overall. Yeah. And I just don't understand why that's happening. I don't understand why we are why there's complete panic in the whole defense. There's a lack of trust, and I obviously understand it. Changes to your centre back pairings all the time doesn't really help, but it doesn't bode well for Leipzig. To be honest, if you're going to have that kind of mistakes, it doesn't bode well. They're
going to punish the hell out of us if that happens. But LFC Gamer in the chat has mentioned a few times about Koulibaly. He said, "Look, it ain't rocket science. If we signed Koulibaly, this would not have happened."
Koulibaly's going to cost like 90 million.
If we would have signed him, it definitely wouldn't have happened. I mean, he's great, but he's also, how much would he have gone for? 70 to 100 million? I just don't think that Koulibaly was in the cards from a transfer standpoint. I mean, do you agree with that?
We haven't had an interest in Koulibaly. And Koulibaly works well because Napoli play a back three. He doesn't play in the two. So it's a completely different system. So, I rate Koulibaly overall. I agree with Welsh. I think he's good, but plays a complete different system in a slower league. So, and he's 29. Well, actually, 29, 30. He's not an option for us.
Koulibaly has the worst aerial ability in the top 5 leagues with like 39%. Wow, didn't know that.
I don't want him. So I'm not
JG brought up a good point. He said Klopp said he didn't hear anything on that play. Everyone was quiet. That's what he said in the post-match.
For the Alisson miscommunication.
I mean, there has to be talk there. That's on Alisson, to be honest. Again, I mean, obviously it was, but if he didn't say anything either, it's even more so because you have a brand new center back there who is trying to find his way into this team, trying to find his way into the Premier League in his first game. He's not going to be the most outspoken guy in the pitch. And I said that last show, yeah, Kabak might have some leadership qualities for Schalke, but when a new player comes to a new team, they're going to be a little shy. They're going to be a little timid in voicing and speaking up. So I think that's probably what happened in this play. Alisson has to make a shout there. And I don't know what's going on with Alisson, but clearly he's had a few lapses, shocking lapses in the past 2 games. And yeah.
Well, I did say this with Alisson, like, we have to also understand that after if you include his time at Roma, that's 3 years of playing at a world-class level and being absolutely in impeccable form.
Of course. Yeah.
So we've seen goalkeepers, Buffon, Casillas, Cech, Courtois, De Gea, all have moments where they've just been absolutely shocking and bounce back. So it does happen for keepers. Even Edison at Man City, we've seen him make complete howlers for Man City last season and even this season. So it does happen where keepers can go in a bad run of form. We just have to.
It just happens all the time.
Yeah, just having the wrong time. We've got to stick with him. And we hope that he comes out of it quickly because, we know how good Alisson is. We know there's plenty of times where, even in this game today, he saved us at least twice. Like Vardy 1-on-1, he saved us.
Yeah.
And then he also made a great save. Yeah, he also could have made a great save when it could have been like 4-1. So
he had a good game prior to that defensive mistake. I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, so it's just having a bad run of form. We just have to stick by him. But there's nothing we can do because we can't really turn to Adrian or Kelleher like with the 2 games that are coming up. So we just gotta hope the work comes out of it. And it's just like it's no difference. Alisson's obviously costing us games, but obviously there's no difference to when like Salama and Bobby weren't scoring because they were costing us games by not scoring. So it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, Real Ball Talk said, as an Arsenal fan, despite the mistakes, Alisson is still the second best keeper in the world. Just a bad run of form.
100%.
Yeah.
Going by what someone says, someone said to me the other day, actually, they said that Liverpool just Arsenal with better players. And I actually agree with you that 100%. If you look at ownership's no different to what Arsenal with Stan Kroenke here. The only difference is we have better players on the pitch than Arsenal. Otherwise, with that same kind of thing, because even Arsenal have to sell to buy majority of the time, exact same kind of structure, but just with some better players.
Cheap Americans, man. That's what it is.
Aren't they as well? Like in America, saying they want. Like, I saw like a tweet where they saying like Boston Red Sox fans are saying they want FSG out as well.
Oh
They're
yeah,
not spending money.
Everybody hates John Henry. It's not just a Liverpool thing. It's a Boston thing too. And I'm in Boston right now. And it's just nobody likes Fenway Sports Group. I mean, they did bring us, but it's weird because they brought us 3 World Series and we hadn't won the World Series in like 100 years. But everybody still hates them. I want to get to Trent in this game. You had an interesting tweet during the game. You said that Trent had made, I think, 6 or 7 tackles and interceptions in the first half, which was the most in the game. So he was playing okay defensively, but I mean, what were your thoughts overall of his performance? And I guess, yeah.
I think overall, the first half Trent is very good defensively. You know, like you can't criticize him defensively. And in the second half, I mean, maybe there was at fault for him also for the third goal from Harvey Barnes because I don't know where Trent was. But then obviously, I think in that goal we were caught out of position with Salah losing the ball, and that just caused chaos. But still, we shouldn't be that open. I think overall Trent defensively wise actually was good. Like people can't criticize him defensively. Offensively, I thought sometimes Trent's trying to do the Hollywood ball too much. I think what's happening with Trent is the fact that he knows how good he is. He knows how good his crossing is, and he relies on that. Instead of doing the basics, when's the last time really you saw Trent taking on players? He used to do that all the time when he first broke free, like run at players and stuff. Now all he does is try to just do the Hollywood pass, which Steven Gerrard in his early days got criticised for that. Always trying to do the Hollywood pass instead of like doing the basics of what a good player was, trying to take on players. And then obviously Gerrard changed that in his game when he started doing that. But I think Trent needs to learn. Get to the byline. Get across in the byline. You know, Stop just trying to do like the Hollywood ping pass from, you know, that comes off like once every 4 times. And also I thought like, why do we keep allowing Trent to take free kicks? When's the last time Trent scored a free kick?
I mean, who else is there though? Every time Mo takes a free kick, it ends up in the stands.
I don't know, but this is like, because I knew straight away when Trent was going to take that free kick, I said, we're not scoring. And it was shocking again, shocking free kick. So, like, I don't know. But I thought overall Trent played well. I don't think he was at fault for any of the goals or for this defeat today. So, people can criticize him. Okay, yeah, in past games where he has not been as great, but I don't think today people can criticize him defensively.
I mean, but it's just strange. Even both fullbacks, Robertson as well, you're not really seeing them overlap or link up with the wingers. You're not seeing Robertson link up with Mane, and you're not seeing Trent link up with Salah. I mean, like you just said, how many times a game have either of them gotten to the byline? I don't think once this game. I mean, maybe once last game, but not very often. You're not really seeing many overlap runs, and I think it's because they're afraid to take risk, and that's what this whole, I think, bad run of form is about. You know, Liverpool just aren't taking risks. They're just keeping possession. They're not getting many shots on target or many shots in general if it's against a low block, and it's just at some point something has to change. But Akiri from the chat said that at some point we'll realize that Mo does nothing but finish, absolutely nothing but finish. Mane has no confidence and probably just needs a break. I mean, what do you think about that one?
I think with Mo, I think we have to remember he's our most creative attacker, statistically wise. But today as well, like there were times when his pass was a bit sloppy, and he was like just
third
shocking
goal.
pass. Yeah,
That was
shocking
terrible.
pass. Even the one where he put Bobby through, a better pass to Bobby. Bobby's through, but the pass was so sloppy it gave Bobby no chance to like kind of dink it over the keeper, so he couldn't really do nothing with it. With Mane, I do agree. I think Mane's been poor this whole season. To be honest, like, yeah, he works hard and does the tracking back with Robbo, and I do rate him for doing that. But overall, his decision making, his willingness to take risks has been shocking overall this season. You know, he's not been good this season, Mane. And even today, like you said, he was taking more dribbles, but I think when he made the dribbles, his final pass after the dribble wasn't good. And
Yeah, he just looked like he had a heavy touch. That's that's what it's been for me for this season for Mane. He just always looks like he has a heavy touch. He looks out of control, and that's led to a couple of bad tackles from him. It just there's no fluidity on that left wing anymore. And I think it's Mane's performances or underperformances have been impacting Robertson. You know, maybe he just doesn't have the confidence that Mane's going to keep the ball, so he's not going to make that overlapping run. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But Akiri also said that Firmino actually looked decent in the high press, but other than the assist, he did nothing else. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, Bobby was poor today overall. I have to rate him though for that pass to Salah was ridiculous.
Oh, it was just like the Newcastle one last year. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Madness. But overall, he did do nothing, Bobby. I don't get it. Like, what's going on with Bobby? Because Palace, he looked amazing. Like, we thought, but the old Bobby's back. Since then, I don't know what's going on with him. Tottenham game looked good.
Good game against Tottenham, I think, as well.
Tottenham. He did good. So he did good against Tottenham. West Ham, did he play well against West Ham? No, that's just Salah's brilliance. No, he came on and got the assist for Gini's goal. I don't know what's going on with Bobby, why he can't do it consistently, but then maybe just overall, he's just, I don't know, because the whole team, he's also playing badly as well. I think we said before as well, like, when you see Salah and Mane pick up the ball, they're picking up the ball way more deeper. It's not as high up the pitch as they normally do. So when they get to the penalty box, you know, they're not facing one-on-one with the fullbacks or the centre-backs high up the pitch. It's picking up the ball from like the halfway line and then having to run with the ball. You know, and again, that also shows the fact that we're not playing as high or pressing. You know, where's our press gone?
Yeah, I completely agree, JG. We're trying to remember some good form, and you have to go back to like November. But Chris Welch, with a hot take here, said, I would sell Mane at the moment in the summer, but we know clubs will be after Salah instead. Chris, I'm going to give you the hot take here. That is fuming hot take. What do you think about that, homie?
Sell Mane. I probably wouldn't sell Mane because of his work rate. Plus, I think like more clubs are after Salah, so it most likely be Salah. But I personally don't think either of them are going to go this summer. Actually, when I think about it, I know I've said Salah before, but I'm just thinking like financially, I just can't see who's going to be able to afford the 100 million for him.
Well, what if we don't make top four?
I know people are saying, was Salah's going to jump ship if we don't make top four? But again, Liverpool aren't going to sell him on the cheap. Edwards is not a guy who sells someone on the cheap. You know, He ain't going to do that. So if someone wants Salah, they're going to have to pay over 100 million for him still. I just don't feel the Spanish clubs can't afford him. They haven't got money. PSG, they have to sell players because they, after giving Neiman a new contract, that's hit them badly.
Well, I think they're getting messy as well.
Yeah, then I can't see it. PSG to be able to. Bayern Munich wouldn't be interested in Salah because they don't need him, and then maybe Juventus. But even with Juventus, can they really afford it? I'm not really sure. So I don't think there's any options that he can really go to, Salah.
Yeah, I mean, LFC Gamer again said, "Why is it so many fans want Salah out? I never get it. He's just never injured, guaranteed 20 goals a season. I mean, we don't want him out. Rahomi and I both don't want him out. I mean, I guess some other people do, but I mean, Salah's probably the reason why we've actually been getting on the score sheet in the past few games. But no, I completely agree with that. I think that it would be very difficult for another team to buy Salah. It would be like, another team trying to buy Mbappe this summer. So, I mean, the only situation I guess that might work is if we do a swap deal or something like that. But if we don't make top four, I don't think Mbappe would want to come to Liverpool. So yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that many clubs can afford Salah. I mean,
that's one probably one thing where COVID has helped us, because there's not going to be any fans in stadiums across Europe for the rest until past the summer. Even when the season ends, I doubt there'll be fans in stadiums at the beginning of next season. Even still, because I think COVID's still gonna. No, I don't, because if you look at, I just looked at the thing yesterday on the news about COVID. They're saying, like, for most countries that haven't vaccinated, most countries have not done mass vaccinations yet. So if you're thinking about it, if not every country's done a wide vaccination, then there's going to be a lack of money across Europe. And plus, if they do allow people to travel around the world, COVID's going to spread again. So yeah. I don't think there'll be fans in stadiums at the beginning of next season. So that's going to be a massive dent for all clubs. We've seen how much it's destroyed Barca. They're like $1 billion. They're like $1 billion in debt. Madrid have no money, and they need to upgrade Bernabeu. So I just don't see where people get the money from.
Yeah, Kiri just mentioned that in the chat. He said Salah and Mane aren't going anywhere. Who's going to buy them? Barca's finances are in shambles. PSG will need to sell Mbappe and Neymar. Madrid upgrading their stadium. Completely agree. Chris Welch said that Mbappe doesn't want to play in the Europa League. Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to. Hopefully, we can keep the top four. But just going off of that, I mean, do you think there's any chance that we keep top four? I mean, I mentioned earlier all those teams that still have games in hand and they're right on our heels, and a lot of those teams we're going to end up playing in the next few weeks.
If Jota's coming back now, I was very confident. I thought Jota was going to be back until the beginning of February. Now I thought, oh, that's what I believed. But with him not back until probably March now, I just feel like it's going to be a massive ask. I know I said top four's gone. And I do overall feel that probably top four potentially is gone. I think it's going to be a massive ask, because we've got, in before March, we've got some big games coming up. Like, do you really see us beating Everton in the Merseyside derby with the form we're in at Anfield?
Probably not.
I'm not so sure about that. And then Sheffield United, do I see us beating Sheffield United? I'm not 100% sure about that.
God, I hope so, dude. Oh, if we lose to Chris Wilder, I'll be pissed. I bet Ryan Bruce will get his first goal against us in that game.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. The thing, I'm not 100% sure about that, because, like, I'm not saying we'll lose to Sheffield United, but I said it could end up a draw, because I think how they're going to play. They're going to play 10 behind the ball. So, and that's our Achilles heel. So, I'm not so sure about those. If someone said to me now we're going to win those two games, it's a concern.
Well, here's our schedule, and forgive me for using ESPN. But we have Leipzig, we have Everton, Sheffield, Fulham, Leipzig again, and then Wolves, Arsenal, Villa, Leeds. That's a tough run right there.
Yeah, because even like Fulham, we drew Fulham away to them, so that's not going to be a walk in the park.
It's not going to be a walk in the park.
Wolves is going to be a tough game.
April is going to be really difficult, I think. We tied Newcastle. Leeds, we barely got by, and that was the first game of the season. Obviously, Aston Villa, we lost 7-2. Arsenal, who the hell knows what's going to happen there. And we have May, we have United, Southampton, and then, we should be able to finish off those last 3 games, you would hope. But it's going to be tough. It's like there's no easy game there, to be honest, with our
Chris Welsh is saying Everton haven't won at Anfield for decades. That's true. But City hadn't won at Anfield in the last 5 years. So, we're not playing well. And Anfield is an Achilles heel for us. I'm not saying Everton to come and beat us, but I'm just saying, they can come away and get a draw again. And that doesn't serve us, because we can't afford to drop points anymore. So, I don't know. But we are just come up real bad. Liverpool's attack has always been reliant on the high press, but we can't play the high press this season. We haven't played it since Van Dijk and Gomez have been injured and Fabinho's not midfield. We haven't been able to play the high press, so that also hurts us. Can I think we'll get top 4? Right now, I'd probably say I'm 70% against it. I'm actually more worried about. I'm 70% against it right now because of our form, and because of the form of certain players. Is just alarming. And it doesn't seem like, even like, You know the weird thing, like it doesn't feel even like with Salah. Salah scores a goal, but does he really look like his form? He's really confident, really 100%. Like in 17-18 when Salah scored, he was just everything was just clicking, goal after goal after goal. Even 17-18-19 when Salah scored, he just looked amazing overall.
Yeah.
Even now he scores a goal, but he doesn't look amazing afterwards. He scored that goal, like in terms of full of confidence.
He's just finishing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
today's goal though was a proper finish. I thought,
yeah.
That was a great goal. It's too bad we lost that game because that would have been one of the highlights of the season. But I don't have much else to say, man. Anything else that we can end on?
Man match. Yeah.
Do I have to pick a Liverpool player? I don't know. All right, we'll do man of the match. Who do you have?
God, if I was to go Liverpool side, man of the match would be.
I'm gonna go Salah because he scored. That's the only reason. Salah.
I was going to go with Henderson because I think he did make a few interceptions that were quite key in that second half. And he wasn't really at fault for any of the goals that we conceded. I know he did get caught out for the Vardy header where Vardy had headed it straight at Alisson.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought not amazing, but I just thought him or probably or Salah. It's not like there were clear out, standout man of the matches where they played the blinders. So it's difficult. What would you give Klopp overall at rating out of 10?
Klopp?
Yeah.
Maybe a 6. I don't think he had much to work with. You even said it yourself. Shaqiri and Ox are the only guys really on the bench. It's just his hands are tied, I think.
Julian, man of the match, full-time whistle for me.
That's brilliant. I like that. I like that a lot. Well done, Julian. Well done.
I'll probably take, I agree with you, a 5 or 6 for Klopp. But yeah, his hands were tied today. It's not his fault today. But I don't know what can he do now going forward, realistically, like in terms of picking the team up, because that's 3 defeats in a row now for us.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
JG said that VAR officials man of the match. Yeah, that was a bad call, but then we just lost it after that. But yeah, all right. Well, let's end it on that. Thanks to the chat for joining us. You guys were on fire again today, Julian. You should probably tweet that that message. That would be a banger, I think. But when's our next show? It's going to be before the preview before Lights Big. That's Tuesday.
Yeah, Lives Tuesday. We played Tuesday. I think Monday evening. I think we played Lives on Tuesday.
Yeah, so it'll be Monday. All right, so we'll see the chat back for Monday. Well, homie, thanks again for joining us as always. But for everybody else, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, please do that. We appreciate you all. But up the Reds. Hopefully we can turn it around, boys.
Up the Reds.